Happy birthday, Pisces. It's readings for the month of, I think 19th, is it 18th of February all the way through to the 19th of March. And as a general energy look, we've got some full moon energy in your month, and we've also got some retrograde. So we might see that themes coming out in this from maybe a couple of years ago that are reoccurring. And we're gonna, I mean, there's been a general energy this week of things picking up, new projects and stuff like that. And I think we're going to see some exciting new developments. But let's have a look. I'm using this lovely gold foil tarot, and then the just used it for another reading, Seventh Sphere tarot, which are lovely, but they're like really sweet colours. So coming out first is the King of Swords in reverse. Something you might not be speaking up about. Again, sometimes that goes in alignment with planning, but it also could be holding on to something, maybe not being vocal with your voice, suppressing something. Could be some conflict that you're trying to avoid. It's also, I'm sorry to say, it's a bit of plotting. Maybe you're feeling a bit stubborn, or a bit of manipulation coming around. Two of Swords there, in reverse again. So again, some internalization, some defensiveness, some ideas, maybe not taking action on something, and potentially you're the subject of some gossip. Another reversal energy, Nine of Cups. So whatever's going on is causing some strife, some difficulties, some lack of independence, and you may be feeling a little bit unforgiving, or you may be at the receiving end of some unforgiveness, and that could be causing this internalization, maybe a bit of anxiety really there. But don't worry, that is going to come to an end. That's movement. It's also a sign of something good coming in towards you, some good communication, some positive energy. It's people around you being a bit more generous, or you being a bit more generous with people, because I feel like there's a need to move out of that negative energy and into something a little bit more positive. And I think that's going to involve taking action on your ideas, and moving your life ahead out of the stagnation that you might be feeling, or the hurt or the pain, and you know, removing yourself from this lack of enthusiastic hopefulness. So, you know, be careful that whilst you're trying to do that, you're not doing anything too reckless, or you're not taking chances where you don't need to be taking chances. And you need to really avoid at this time this feeling of apathy, really. More internalized energy. I'm sorry, Pisces, on your birthday, that you might be internalizing a lot. There's an element of carelessness. The Knight of Wands there. An element of carelessness is going on. And it could be you're being careless with things. You could be being seen as cruel. You know, there's a little restriction there on growth. Perhaps you're not able to move forward as much as you would like. This could be this retrograde energy. So this could be a pattern of something that's happened maybe a couple of years ago. You might be going back through it, and that could be really frustrating that you feel that you're back in that space. There's the Queen of Wands here in reverse. And when she's in a reverse, she's aggressive, demanding, dramatic, jealous, deceitful, and she doubts herself. So there's a bit of this energy that you want to be wary of. And we've got actually the Empress has come out 3. She's the mother. There's a bit of this energy where you might be licking your wounds. You might be not really appreciating your life at the moment. But the Empress at least brings us that creativity. She's underneath this 8 of Wands. So this is moving your life behind. So I feel like no matter what's going on at the moment, you're going to somewhere from the deep dark depths grab hold of some impetus and move it forward. Move your life forward, creating this new fertile space. It can even include in growing your family. It's very earthy energy. So you're going from the ideas into putting it into practice. Yeah, there's some heartbreak here. So this energy is probably stemming from something that happened a couple of years ago. Maybe you're struggling with the truth of something. Maybe you're trying to hide the truth of something, and you know, this is not a nice reading, but you might be in denial of some things that are happening around you. And yeah, the Emperor there, control and structure. So you might not 100% be able to execute these things. There's a sacrifice that you might need to make, and you need to stay connected with your ambition. So it's looking at the bigger picture, moving forward. You know, there's certainly a lot of powerful, well, not a lot, but 3 powerful cards there. The 8 of Wands, the Empress, and the Emperor. So that's a couple, that's a power couple. So you could be pushing through with a partner to get to a different space. And you are dealing with a very tricky situation where you're competing, or you feel like you're competing. You don't really want to be involved in this battle or this competitiveness. You know, goes back to gossip. It could be that you're surrounded by gossip people talking about you, and you're just going to try and drive through that. And then we've got this awakening card, the Judgment. It's a reckoning, it's self-assessment, it's looking at your behavior, and it's forgiveness. Because one of the things we have to do when we realize that we've made errors or we're behaving in a way that's not really particularly great, is that we have to seek atonement. And that atonement has to come from ourselves majority of the time. This is a very self-reflective reading. It's asking you to look at what is going on. The Page of Pentacles, though, is a promise of a new beginning. It's an offer. So there's going to be something that comes up that is going to bring you a new offer. And you might think, well, that's not very much. I don't want that one. I want a bit more than that. And it could be that that is where... Let's have a look. 9 of Wands. Yeah, you want more because you're feeling the burden. You're feeling the burden of what is going on. You're feeling the burden of your own opinions about yourself and the fact that you're being defensive. And that is very, very difficult for you. Yeah, and something may not go in your favour. That's justice in reverse. So it could be that you're operating in an underhand way. And it could also be that even if you don't recognise that you are, that it will look that way. As I said, you're being looked at and judged, and there's a judgment call coming, and you need to be reflective on your personal growth and in your way on how you are viewing things at the moment. Return. So we are looking at retrograde energy. Yeah, so this energy could be something returning from the past, some sort of pain, some sort of memory, some sort of what you feel like is the same situation from the past. So that could be particularly uncomfortable for you at the moment. Seven of Wands, yeah, it's defensiveness. You are definitely feeling defensive. You are protecting your viewpoint. You probably are feeling gossiped about or talked about. Ten of Swords is a feeling of betrayal. I'm sorry, Pisces, you're going through something that's quite difficult for you. And I wonder if there's anything you feel like you're losing a little bit of hope. The Star in reverse. So perhaps you feel like you've made some big steps and now that feels like it's at risk of being taken away from you. But the Ace of Wands is here. So there's action required. And we've seen the action, Eight of Wands, the Empress, the Emperor. So we know there's going to be action. There's a little bit of apathy about it. So don't get dragged down by, oh yeah, the Queen. So don't get dragged down by this psychological or emotional hurt. The Queen of Swords there is about to speak up. It's about speaking up and standing up for yourself and not allowing an undercurrent to get the better of you. So let's have a look at the Oracle cards and what they've got saying. Enchanted, childlike wonder, fairies and gateways. So, you know, whilst you're going through these difficult times, connecting with things that awaken your inner joy, whether that might be, there's some animals there, there's a peacock there, it's about transformation. I'm not sure what that is. What's that? Oh, an owl. Wiseness. Yes. Make sure you're tapping into wiseness, either from yourself or get a mentor or an elder to guide you there and help you see where you're going wrong. So there could be some guidance coming in for you. It says, when I'm tuned into the energy of abundance, I become abundant. So be careful not to step into that negative phase, even though you're feeling it and even though I can see you're feeling it. And then it says, my fearless freedom lights up the world. You know, don't be afraid. Stay connected to this light at the end of the tunnel and you should be able to move forward from that. That was a bit of a heavy reading and I'm sorry for that to come in your birthday month. But overall, there is still an opportunity for you moving out of it, following your passions, staying connected, staying in your feminine, even using your feminine energy if you're male. And also, you know, this Emperor, be aware of a little bit over controlling, but also take the energy of the Emperor that's been coming up because we're coming into Aries season after your season, and, you know, map out your future, map out how you want it to look like, and, you know, set those foundations and see that long-term vision. Okay, Pisces, have a good day.